What up, y'all? I'm Bokeh Bob, and today we're going to be checking out a new switch that Invokeys has recently brought to their lineup, the Purple Rice Switch. Before we get started, I always like to make it clear that these switches were sent to me for review from Invokeys. However, all opinions are my own and from my experience using the switches. Typically, I type on these switches for about a week before dropping a switch review. Also, it'd be greatly appreciated if you can like and most importantly subscribe to the channel. It is a great way to support the channel and allows me to bring more reviews like these to you in the future. Let's hit the B-roll, baby. Meet again, BUSN. As of right now in the current market, I focus most of my personal switch purchases on BUSN and HMX manufactured switches. I do this because every switch I've tried from either manufacturer is easily usable right away. You don't need to lube them, as the factory lube in my experience is the best in the market. BUSN specifically usually hits my sound preference to a T, so I always tend to lean toward a BUSN manufactured switch. Now let's turn our attention directly to the Invokeys Purple Rice Switch, which is exactly that, manufactured by BUSN. Let's break down their specs, open them up, see how they sound in the mode Envoy. As we open up the Purple Rice Switch, the top housing is made from palm, the bottom housing is nylon, the stem is UPE, and it has a total travel distance of 3.3 millimeters. And lastly, a 52 gram, 22 millimeter single stage spring, which is quite comfortable to type on. Of course, with most BUSN switches, as I stated before, they come factory lubed, with no weird crunching or pinging coming from the leaves or spring. Before we hear these switches, I always like to remind everyone that the mode Envoy you see in all my switch review videos is built exactly the same. Palm plate, no foam, GMK keycaps. This is so you can go from review to review and compare the switches if you'd like. Enjoy the sound test. I always say this is everyone's favorite part of my reviews, the perks and the quirks. Is it though? I feel like everyone listens to the sound test and then they move on. Let me know in the comments. Starting off with the perks, as always from BUSN, this is a great switch, which there are no qualms on my end. The switch is smooth, comfortable to type on, and I would say it's a loud switch, but it's deeper sounding long pole linear. You're not getting attacked by too much clack. As far as I can tell with this switch, is no recolor of any other BUSN switch. However, I would say in terms of a sound comparison, they're very similar to the BUSN X and Paradise Island if you've tried either of those. They're not very high pitch in terms of the clack department, but they're not super deep. It's kind of like a middle ground in terms of a long pole linear. It's quite nice. When it comes to quirks, as most BUSN switches, I got nothing. It's a solid switch, which is competitive in the price department at 50 cents a switch, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them mechanically. As always, when looking for switches, I like to recommend that you make your switch decision based on your preferred sound profile, as 100% of this hobby is dedicated to personal preference. Don't buy a Switch because me or some other content creator says, oh, this is the greatest Switch. Go off of your sound preference. If you like a deep switch, get a deep switch. If you like a clacky switch, get a clacky switch, so on and so forth. Now, this comes down to my recommendation. If you like the way they sound and they fit your preferred sound profile, there's no reason to not buy these switches. They'd also make a great match for anyone with the GMK Frost switch, as they match pretty well, and I match them very well with GMK Purple Night, as you see in the videos. Have you tried Invokeys switches in the past? I've personally only tried the Black Sesames, and that switch really impressed me. Invokeys again brings another switch to the market that impresses me with the Purple Ray switch. I got a question for y'all. I'm thinking about doing a keycap manufacturer comparison in the future, such as GMK versus Keykobo, PBT Fans ABS, and Mode keycaps. Let me know if it's something you'd be interested in the future, and I'll make that video happen. As always, check out some of my content here. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful rest of your week, and enjoy your holiday season. Bokeh Bob out.